Well, it's a big week for high school girls basketball players around the area. The state tournament tips off in Lincoln on Wednesday. Local 4's Mason Kern is here to share which local teams punched their ticket.
Thanks, Casey. The stage is set. The state girls basketball tournament is coming to Lincoln starting Wednesday, with games being played in all classes until champions are crowned on Saturday. So how about we break down some bracketology? No local teams qualify in Class A, so we start in Class B. York qualifies for the third straight year. The Dukes are the number 4 seed and draw Scottsbluff in the state quarterfinal, which starts Thursday. If they win, they'll play the winner of Elkhorn North Norris in the Class B semifinal. Adams Central is down from Class B to C1 this year and draw 3 seed for a quarterfinals matchup against 6th-ranked Gothenburg Wednesday. A win for either would pair them up with the winner of Bridgeport and Lincoln Christian. AC is 24-1, while the Swedes are 20-4. Moving on to Class C2, 2 local teams qualify. Cross County is back at state for the first time since 2006 as the 8th seed, taking on Crofton in the quarterfinals, while Southern Valley is on the opposite side of the bracket, ranked 6th and taking on Guardian Angels Central Catholic. The reigning C2 champion St. Cecilia is down in Class D1 this year. The Hawkettes qualify for their 11th straight state tournament, this time as the 4 seed. We'll have a guaranteed local semifinalist from Ravenna, Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, and Centura draws Elgin Public Pope John. If the Blue Jays and Centurions make the championship, it would be their 4th meeting this year. And a heavy local presence in Class D2, McCool Junction is back at state facing Humphrey St. Francis, a guaranteed local semifinalist from the winner of Shelton Wilcox Hildreth. The Bulldogs were state runner-ups last year, and O'Neill St. Mary's qualifies. They'll play Why Not. Congrats and good luck to all of our girls state qualifiers. As for the boys, we'll have district championship coverage Monday and Tuesday before their bracket is finalized. We'll see